What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. This is the top 10 best perks of all time. The other day we did the top 10 worst. Now we're doing the top 10 best. Fight me, fight me, fight me. You already know what the number one is. You already know it. Why do you watch the video anyway? So anyways, guys, here are the top 10 best perks in Call of Duty Treyarch Zombies. If you didn't see the last video, this is Treyarch Zombies only. There are not enough different perks in the other games to warrant those perks being in any of these lists. So anyways, guys, let's get into the number 10. Number 10 is Electric Cherry / Electric Burst. These are basically the same perks. Electric Cherry is, of course, the Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3 version, and the Electric Burst is the Black Ops 4 version. They basically do the same thing. When you reload your gun, you fire out this electric burst that stuns nearby zombies. The more empty your clip is, the bigger the burst. This is why on some maps, like Origins, this perk is mostly useless, but on Maw of the Dead, if you're using the Vitrolic Withering strategy, with Speed Coal and Electric Cherry, you are unkillable for a little bit. So, so Electric Cherry and Electric Burst come in at the number 10 spot. They are basically the same perk, it's just Electric Burst, the modifier at least, does a little bit extra with its melee attack, but it's not really worth talking about because it's not really a warranted modifier. There are so many better modifier perks. Coming down to the number 9 spot, it's kind of a tie between Victorious Tortoise and PhD Flopper. Now, both of these do kind of the same thing in their own right, in their own game equivalent. Victorious Tortoise blocks damage from all sides when you have your shield in front of you. And then PhD Flopper negates all damage from explosive weapons. They're equally as powerful and they both kind of do the same thing, right? You negate damage from a source. PhD Flopper, if PhD Flopper was actually implemented into the modern Treyarch zombie games, it actually wouldn't be that bad. Bomb Stoppers doesn't count because all it does is negate explosive damage and it costs the same amount of points. If you guys watched my worst video, if you just combined Bomb Stoppers and Trailblazers, made that one perk, PhD Slider would be God tier, right? So PhD Flopper, it negates explosive damage and it's only in the Black Ops 1 games. I don't give a fuck about Origins Wonder Fizz. I don't give a fuck about I almost said Blood of the Dead. Fuck me. I don't give a fuck about Mob of the Dead. Grief. Fuck you. PhD Flopper, bring it back in its full glory. I want to dolphin dive off a bridge again. God. So anyways, those are two perks that basically are kind of similar in their own way. Like, they have different functions, but the end result is about the same. So that's why Victorious Tortoise and PhD coming in at number 9. Coming in at the number 8 spot, this is Quick Revive in Black Ops 4. Now, let me state my case for why it is specifically the Black Ops 4 version. In Black Ops 1, 2, and 3, what is your Quick Revive used for? On solo, what is it used for? It's used to get yourself another down. Give you an extra life. And that's fine in its own right, but it's more of a necessity perk. And it's just kind of one of those things you need to do. It's just kind of one of those things that's like, if you want the game to last longer, you get Quick Revive, right? And the thing is, it screws you up in the end anyways because you only get 3, right? Which isn't a bad thing, but again, it's just that's the only thing it does. It gives you another life. And then what does it do on co-op? It's 3 times more expensive, mind you, and all you do is slightly revive faster. Now here's where the Black Ops 4 version comes into play. Not only do you revive faster, which was already a function in the old Quick Revive, in the new Quick Revive, you also heal faster, right? So your health regen is faster. In a game like Black Ops 4, that's actually kind of important. And that's why Victorious Tortoise and Quick Revive are such good perks when they go hand in hand. Because if you take a lot of damage, pull out your shield and let Quick Revive quickly fill your health bar back up, and then you get back to murdering a bunch of D-bag zombies. I'm fucking Dempsey Nikolai. So anyways, what brings this perk all the way even further than it already should be is its modifier. Now I know I shouldn't really count the modifier in these sorts of videos or in these sorts of lists, but the modifier for Quick Revive is so useful that it's like you just zoom across the planet when you regen your health. Alright guys, coming into the number 7 spot is Widow's Wine. Now Widow's Wine is one of those perks that comes in clutch when you both need it and don't need it to come in clutch, right? It's one of those perks where sometimes you're like, oh thank god Widow's Wine saved my life, and other times is like, really, I got hit, Widow's Wine, really, procced, really. This is why it's such a difficult decision for some people, myself included, to run Widow's Wine on high round attempts. You can easily replace it with stamina or just make it easier to move around the hordes. So this is why Widow's Wine, it's a clutch perk, and sometimes it's an annoying perk, and I hate it and I love it, but it's so good, but it's so annoying, so it comes in at number 7. Coming down into the number 6 spot, this is Dying Wish. If this perk was not on this list, it would not be a proper list. Dying Wish is such a clutch, whatever the fuck perk. It is so good, it is so nutty, it is so also, fuck my Dying Wish procced, god damn it. It is such an essential safety blanket, especially if you're going for high rounds or Easter eggs. And those are the two endgame zombies activities. You can either go for the Easter egg, which always has some boss fight, and boss fight can always fuck you in the ass, right? They can always be like, ah, fuck, Dying Wish procced, I better be careful now, right? It is such an essential safety blanket. It saves your ass. You don't get it down. You don't waste that down. You don't waste that self-revive. It's just such a clutch perk. It has to be on this list. The only reason it's not like way higher, like in the number 2 or 1 spot, is because of its long ass cooldown. Every time Dying Wish procs, its cooldown gets longer and longer. I think the first cooldown is 5 minutes, and then every cooldown after that is like another 5 minutes, I believe. I don't know, I haven't used it that much. I think I've had Dying Wish proc at most 2 times in my games. So I don't really know exactly how it works, but it's such a clutch perk, and it's such a necessity if you're doing some sort of challenging activity in the zombies game. So that's why it comes in at number 6. Coming down into the number 5 spot, of course, Double Tap 2. Now, the only reason this isn't at the number 4 spot, and we'll talk about the number 4 spot in a minute, the only reason it's not any higher is because it doesn't affect wonder weapons. If Double Tap 2 affected wonder weapons, we'd all go to hell, because we don't deserve this. Double Tap 2 is basically Double Tap 1, but it does it right? So not only does it double your fire rate, which is what Double Tap 1 only did, but it also doubles your bullet count. So if you shoot 1 bullet, 2 bullet pellets will come out. Pay attention next time, or maybe I'll get some gameplay to show you. So in theory, Double Tap 2 quadruples your damage per second in the game, and it only comes at the cost of a little bit more fire rate. Unfortunately, Double Tap was completely fucked in Black Ops 4. It was replaced by a shitty pack-a-punch, or re-pack-a-punch system, I should say, by needing to pack-a-punch your weapon 5 goddamn times to get it to its max damage. What the fuck? Now, while it is a good replacement for the perk system that they were doing in the game, it is also like, really, you butchered it so hard. When you quadruple pack in Black Ops 4, it does not increase your fire rate, it just increases your damage, which is why it was done so dirty, but it's such a good perk that Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 2 would not be the same without it. So it comes in at our number 5 spot. Coming in at the number 4 spot is Speed Cola. Now the only reason this is above Double Tap 2 is because it does affect some of the wonder weapons, or most of them I should say. It is such a good perk to run alongside with your other high round perks. So for example, the Thunder Gun. Is it affected by Double Tap 2? No. Is it affected by Speed Cola? Yes. That's, see, case in point, that's why this perk is a little bit higher on the list. I know double tap 2 in the long run with your general weapons is more effective, but for Speed Cola, it affects every weapon, right? Except for like what the fucking bows and Dryzendrach. So anyway, guys, Speed Cola, need I say any more, increases your reload speed by a lot, and this was also implemented well into Black Ops 4. If you collect all 4 of your perks and have them all active, you get Speed Cola, right? And if you run Speed Cola and you have a weapon with fast mags on it, it's you're breaking the game, basically. So anyways, Speed Cola comes in at number 4. Coming down into the number 3 spot, this is Vulture Aid. Now this is a noobs perk done right. I know if you guys watched the last video, I ripped into Death Perception how it is literally just a noobs perk, but this is a noobs perk done right. It helps you, and it is an OG perk, and it is a Black Ops 2 perk done right. Electric Cherry and Vulture Aid are sex, and fucking Tombstone and Who's Who are garbage sex, you know? What the fuck was that analogy? Anyways, Vulture Aid, if you guys don't know what it does a lot of little things that helps you. First, it highlights both the zombies' eyes, which I don't think really is a necessary addition, but it's still cool anyway. And it also highlights all the chalk drawings and perk locations and box locations throughout the map. So this definitely helps people get used to Buried. Even though Buried's layout is pretty simple once you know it, it's kind of complicated because you can easily get lost in the mines and then in the twisting paths and going through the ghost house. Oh god. So Vulture Aid is such a good perk. When you kill a green zombie and you stand in that fog, all the zombies disperse. You don't need a modifier version for that effect, right? It also drops a little bit of points, and sometimes it'll drop some ammo. It is just such a good perk to run, and I wish this perk came in on more maps. Or it was just brought back in full in Black Ops 4. That would have been nice. Not Zombshell with other perks. Fuck you, Treyarch. So anyways, Vulture Aid comes in at number 3. Number 2, you would be lying to yourself if you ignored this perk in a top 10 best perks list. This is post-patch. Post-patch, remember that, Winter's Wail. Now pre-patch, this perk was god-awful. It was god-awful. Winter's Wail is what Widow's Wine should have been. It is the perfect version of Widow's Wine. Basically what happens is that pre-patch, you had 2 charges. A max ammo did not re-grant those charges, mind you, so it was already an inferior version to Widow's Wine, right? So with Widow's Wine, you got 4 explosive weapons, and the max ammo refilled all of them, and every new round, you got 2. You got 2 extra ones. So it was a very interesting and balanced system, right? And I think in Treyarch's mind, recharging this perk seemed more balanced, but in the long run, it made this perk so god-awful. It did nothing, right? So all this perk did pre-patch is that when you got hit, you got your 2 bursts, and that was it, right? You didn't get 4, you didn't get, and they didn't refill on a max ammo, right? Post-patch, though, they came in clutch. I am so happy this patch came out because Winter's Wail is such an amazing perk, especially the modifier. Either way, it refills with the max ammo. You get 3 charges without the modifier, 4 charges with the modifier, and the modifier makes this huge frozen field, right? You're like fucking Elsa doing Spider-Man Elsa porn, and it's just this massive ice cloud that surrounds you, and it freezes all the zombies in the immediate area, and it continuously freezes the zombies for a couple minutes. And on top of that, which is why this perk is even better than Widow's Wine, is because when you get hit once, it doesn't proc the perk. When you get hit twice, that's when it procs the perk. It is so annoying when Winter's Wail would proc and you just accidentally got hit once and it wasn't necessary. Just like Widow's Wine, if you got hit once and you weren't in any danger, it wasn't necessary. But now that they fixed that and they made it better, so if you get hit once, it doesn't proc, so whatever. You got hit once, Ooh-hoo. But if you get hit more than once and you're actually low health, that's when it procs. It procs when it comes in, when you need it the most. It is so good. It is just, I would put this at the #1 spot, but I feel like I would be telling God to go F himself and like giving and sinning the entire zombies community if I didn't put this at the #1 spot. You already know what it is. It is Juggernog. What the hell? Need I say more? This is such a great staple perk. It is a staple perk. Everyone knows what Juggernog is, even if they haven't played zombies since Kino and Black Ops 1. Everyone knows the Juggernog jingle. Everyone knows what the perk machine looks like. Everyone knows what it does. Everyone knows Juggernog. It is such a perfect example of a staple of the zombies community, and Juggernog not being in the game in Black Ops 4, Juggernog not being in Black Ops 4, it is such a big fuck you to casual players, because what do players know about Treyarch zombies? They know their ray gun, they know chalk wall buys, they know doors, they know points, they know the mystery box, they know Pack-a-Punch, and they know Juggernog, right? That it is... You can't play zombies, you can't have a zombies game without Juggernog. It just doesn't work. If they would have just put in Juggernog as like its own perk that you have to find in Black Ops 4, I would have been fine with the 150 health system. But the fact that pre-patch, like when the game first came out, that's all you got was 150 health no matter what you did. It just made Black Ops 4 such a pain to play on launch. It was not enjoyable, and it's just nothing now, right? So anyways, Juggernog comes in at #1. You already knew it. I just wasted your time. Take the L dance.